Dang. Call me so I can make it juicy for you.
Good morning, everybody, or afternoon or evening. But for me, it's morning. Thank you for clicking on today's video. This is going to be the second video in the Unranked Master Series. Super excited. Today, if you're wondering, we're going to batch 3 games together. We played against a Kindred and 2 Viegos. So if you want to skip around to see the specific game, those are going to be the matchups. As you can see, spoiler alert, we won all 3. Let's go ahead and jump in the first game here and go ahead and review it. My philosophy with this series, of course, is I'm not just going to be like talking about, oh, look at me, how good I am. The point of this series is to kind of deep dive more into like, what was that? In high school, there used to be this type of writing called stream of consciousness writing. If you've ever read Faulkner or whatever, I hated reading it, but the idea is you're trying to explain your exact thought process in real time, so that way, hopefully, when you guys are playing your game, you guys can also do the same. Now, I also have the benefit of hindsight, so there is that. One thing I also want to mention as we look at these replays, there is a bug, it's been into the game for years, where the enemy jungle camps will disappear on the minimap. I won't have that information in real time, of course, unless I have a ward, but it is still really good. So let's take a look. First game here, we are jungling against a Kindred. Kindred is my least favorite matchup. By far and away, one of my least favorite junglers to play against. You kind of have to play on your back foot. If you mess up with your awakening, or you misuse your stun, or you misposition, you'll die. In general, the type of environments you don't want to fight Kindred around is right here, because she can dash over this wall. You don't want to fight her here, and you don't want to fight her in any sort of like Baron or Dragon Pit. The best place to fight Kindred is in open scenarios where she can't dash over walls. That is where Udyr has the best chance of winning. In addition, if we look, the enemy Nasus does not have flash, so I want to path top and get an early gank on Nasus if possible. If that's not possible, then we're going to try and take grubs this game away from Nasus. Nasus is a split pusher. The enemy team has split pushing champions. You for sure want to take it away. In addition, I'm planning on playing Tiger Udyr this game. Tiger Udyr in particular loves Rift Grubs because they help you take turrets faster. So this is going to be a pretty standard clear. I always tell people, once again, I have an advanced clearing guide if you want to know how to clear. I'm not going to go through the clear itself, but I have a video dedicated on my YouTube that will break down auto attack by auto attack, how to clear. So this is a standard clear, and then we'll go ahead and pause it. At this point, we don't have any information on where the enemy jungler is. I think at one point we had seen her crossing through mid, which is why I'm pinging her on her blue and her Gromp right now. We know that she's not top, but that's all I know is that Kindred is bot side. Let's take a look at top here. In my opinion, this is not diveable. We don't really know where the mid lane is. And of course, we know Kindred is bot lane. We could cross over and try Kindred over here, but in general, I don't like fighting Kindred early game. I think she's really good against Udyr, so what I'm planning on doing is probably just a very standard safe start here, which is first crab into second crab into raptor start. So we can see here, Yasuo made an amazing job warding for Kindred. I was pinging that Kindred was bot side. We get a nice little bush cheese off here. Let's see how it ends up playing out. Looks like Yasuo gets first blood. Here we're just sticking on the Kindred or the Leona. Fun fact, when you have Conqueror and the enemy support is just letting you auto attack them, get your Conqueror stacked on the support. It's not, if you ever see me like focusing the support in a team fight or something, usually I'm just auto attacking them 2 or 3 times to get Conqueror stacked, so by the time I go into a team fight, I've got it ready to go. So that's why by the time I turn on this thing, I'm doing a gazillion damage and she has to flash away. At this point, we're just going to eat the full clear. And as you notice, we're level 5, which is incredible. And I decided not to go back and spend my gold there because I didn't end up getting the kill. Yasuo did. We cash in. If you want to know what we buy, we end up getting a Phage, boots, and dagger. I think attack speed is pretty important in the Kindred matchup. You need to be able to pop her ult as fast as possible, especially at level 6. At this point, though, we're just eating level 5 camps. We know that Kindred pathed down to bot side, so her top side camps won't be up. Bot side camps will be respawning. Once again, this is a 6-minute grub game. The enemy team has Nasus. I do not want to see this. At this point, we see that Nasus is diveable, so as the jungler, after we finish this, we're just going to move top here. I get lucky in that I find the Kindred. Kindred's kind of caught out alone, and we get to butter up here for the set. This is a slight misplay by me. I end up dying to the last turret shot here. Slight misplay by me, but we did get 2 for 1, so it's still a pretty big gold swing. At this point, we're respawning. One thing I do want to mention, taking marks away from Kindred is extremely important. This was actually a strategic decision here. I had enough gold to get very close to finishing up my first item. I actually rushed armor boots just for this matchup. Number one, so I can get around the map faster and beat her to the crabs and the marks and all that. But number two, so she can't actually fight me. It's really important in the Kindred matchup to get armor boots as soon as you can. You'll also see that theme in the other two games in this video today. The Viego games are going to be very similar. Armor boots are incredible. They're also 100 gold cheaper than Merc Trade, so if you want to go ahead, it's great. One thing I want to mention at this point in the game, we've got 600 gold in our jungle. Most junglers at this point, when they start snowballing, will start ganking and diving. I'm farming my jungle. Keep farming your jungle. It's worth 600 gold. It really is worth a lot. The only thing I'm looking to do is counter gank. If the enemy Kindred just goes and does a very awful gank, we don't, of course, want to let that happen for free. This is worth 600 gold. Once again, my early game, my first 10 minutes, I want you to notice how much we're farming. Udyr, a lot of people, especially if you're learning Udyr, you may not know this. Your abilities, your awakening abilities, scale off experience, not really items and gold. Sure, the damage gets more, but experience is the backbone of your awakening abilities. So literally, just by being a higher level, you get more damage than other champions because your kit scales better. If farming is incredibly important in the early game, and it's the foundation of everything you can do for the remainder of the game. If you've got bad farm going into 20 minutes, you're probably not going to be able to carry. If you've got good farm going into 20 minutes, you can probably carry. Usually how it goes. At this point, we're just constantly doing crabs on spawn, taking it away. Here, I make a strategic decision. We have raptors and krugs going up, but I'm actually opting to go straight for rift grubs. Once again, rift grubs are my win condition. Normally, I'm farming here, by the way. Like, if we don't have a team comp that can use rift grubs, just give the enemy team the rift grubs. I would do raptors, krugs, and try and go dive the ADC who's alone bot lane. That's the better play. Since rift grubs are my win condition, though, we are looking to walk down river and pincher them here. Unfortunately, it looks like we don't end up winning this fight. The most important thing, of course, is I stay alive. I know that's a joke, but seriously, staying alive as jungle is really important. If you have to choose between rift grubs and staying alive, stay alive every single time. We go ahead and eat our AoE camps. Now we're resetting, and we're going back up top. I'm just setting up a raptor clear. It's kind of a delayed raptor clear, but at this point, we just want to keep farming our camps. I'm looking mainly at the mini-map, seeing how things are going. Eating camps, doing all this good stuff. At this point, from a jungle standpoint, the game is over. I want to mention with this build, how this build works. Early game, you're really not that strong, right? It's just, it's tough. Once you get experimental hexplate and boots, you're very scary. You can start 1v1ing people, and then once you get Spear of Shojin, you're power farm. Literally, you just start farming everything on the map. So that's the playstyle. It's a very ramping playstyle. Keep that in mind. You're going to see that theme. At this point with experimental hexplate, though, we're good to go. I'm going to talk about this spike in the other two games and make sure, just keep your eye on experimental hexplate. It's a really important spike, and you want to get it as fast as possible because it just means you farm your jungle so quickly because you've got the movement speed, the attack speed, the awakening, cooldown, and everything in between. At this point, we're just looking, once again, to start diving and fighting. We're very strong here. This is, we can rewatch this if you guys want. This is not anything fancy. It really isn't, but here what we see whenever you see a Kindred, focus the Kindred because you want to get the Kindred to pop her ult, right? So that's what we do. We run in, even though it's 1v3, I know the Kindred's going to panic and press R. She panics and press R. We get to stay alive. I get my awakening up. What I was planning on doing was holding it Awaken W, so when the Kindred ult ran out, I was going to use Awaken W. Thankfully, Zyra showed up, and we just won it there. Kindred is extremely easy. By the way, another build you can do into Kindred if you want. You can do full AP Udyr is an extremely good build because you can run into Kindred, get her to pop her ult, her team will run in the middle of the ult, and then you press Awaken R right when it's about to expire, and you will kill her entire team immediately with Shadow Flame. It's a really good combo. So this is an amazing start so far. We're going to let him get the first tower solo gold. That's really big for him. Actually, we got first tower mid. I already forgot about that. But as you can see, we're just kind of escorting around the map. At this point, I've gotten mid and top tower. My next objective is bot tower with rift grubs. We're, of course, just full clearing down. We set up a raptor start. You see how our clear is in a linear spike. At this point, we are just setting up our jungle clamps to be set up in a straight line bot. I get asked this question sometimes on stream, Willie, when do you start doing straight line clear paths versus the raptors to Krugs to wolves to grump? When do you stop doing that? In my opinion, once you've got experimental hexplate, start clearing in a straight line because you have enough clear speed to get away with it. And frankly, you're just going to have enough tempo to where you're just going to be clearing a full minute to 30 seconds faster. So right here, this is kind of a mistake there on that auto attack cancel. My Twitch chat made sure to flame me on that. This was something I'm not proud of. Would have done it a little bit differently, hopefully, the next time. I'm staring at a Caitlyn in her tower with 20 HP and I'm auto attacking her. Maybe I won't. Right click away for whatever reason. At this point, I think the game is practically over. I've done my job as jungle. We've got a, Yasuo is fine mid. He's 3-5, but he's against a hard matchup. We've got a snowballing bot, 6 grubs, and a set top who's really far ahead. Kindred is also not far behind, but at this point, my tempo is starting to really outperform her. You can see that, she really just cannot keep up with how fast I'm moving around the map. In addition, I am level 13. These are, 2 toddlers trying to kill me right now. They're level 9 and level 10. Literally, think about if they're 2 or 3 levels behind you. If you've never been explained this, it's really important with jungling. Every level up you have on Udyr is about 700 gold worth of stats, damage, all that good stuff. So if you're 3 levels ahead of the enemy ADC, which I was in that fight, she is a full 2100 gold behind me by default, not including the fact that I've got 2 items and she only has 1.5, right? So it's a really good spot to be in. Now, as Udyr, I've finished my Spear of Shojin. I want you to notice, I'm really, I'm 3-1 at this point, but I'm not 20-1, right? This is not like a blowout game. This is how the playstyle works. You're ramping up. Once you get your 2 items, just farm everything on the map. I want you to notice at this point, I'm not going to spend too much time because I really think the first 20 minutes of the game are the most important. But I want you to notice, let's just go ahead and put the camera on Udyr, how fast we move around the map. We end up dying here, but I want you to notice how fast we end up moving around the map and farming our camps, right? No jungler, in my opinion, in the game can keep up with this, right? Another nice thing about this build, by the way, is you can solo Baron. Fun fact, but as you can see, we're essentially just walking around, catching people where we can, resetting, running bot, trying to kill this thing if we can. No dice on the Nasus. It's kind of fun to watch it this fast. And Udyr, once again, with this build, you've got so much cooldown on your E. You get around the map so quickly. But this is what happens. There's no, mystery. And the reason why I'm kind of playing it on this speed and I'm trying to emphasize to you guys, you just run around the map and farm. It's all you do. Don't stop farming. Find a free kill if you can, but if you take away a single jungle camp away from the enemy jungler, that is a 200 gold swing, and every single time you do that, it's just gonna ramp up that much faster. So that's the Kindred game. I want to go ahead and jump into the next 2 games really quickly. I don't want to spend too much time because these 2 games are both very, very similar. These next 2 games are against Viego. Viego is, in my opinion, a very easy matchup for Tiger Udyr. Phoenix Udyr, Tank Udyr is really, really bad against Viego. I would not encourage you to play Phoenix Udyr into Viego. This is going to be a very similar setup in that we have a Jax top lane and I'm blue side, right? So I'm going to play for grubs. I want to get Jax and myself rift grubs. Echo also can split push really well. Nobody on that team can split push. So frankly, if we get our team's grubs and I build a hole breaker this game, I don't see a way they'll be able to stop me. This is a game where I am going to get a hole breaker third. If you look at the enemy team, they have a Mumu top and a Kiana mid. I know the Mumu top is kind of off-roll. This is a gold level MMR, so this is just gold stuff. However, that being said, I know that Udyr, Tiger Udyr in particular, can run over in a Mumu late game, and I know that I can beat a Kiana late game as well once I get enough health and once I get enough armor. That being said, grubs are once again going to be the most important, so we're just setting up a raptor start. very same, very consistent start for me. I love Raptor start. I do it pretty much every game unless I have a reason not to, or I am trying to invade if the enemy jungler is someone I think I can kill early game. All right, so at this point, we went ahead. I think we saw the Viego. I'm 90% sure this game I knew Viego was topside because we had seen him crossing through. His Raptors, my mid laner, had spotted him at some point. At this point, what I am doing is I am sprinting top lane as fast as possible to try and gank a Mumu. I want you to notice this is why clear speed matters. Like, Viego needs to practice his clear speed because most Viegos can be done by 320 or so. You really want to have clean clear speed because this is what allows you to beat the enemy jungler to the first gank. And it, you know, literally faster clear speed will probably change a silver player to a platinum player just like that. Because you'll beat the first gank and you'll get your snowballing easier. There'll be less variance in your games and you're good to go. Another thing I want to note, right here in this little 1v2, people ask me when do I use my Awakened W, even on Tiger Udyr. Use your Awakened W if you have the numbers advantage or if they have an assassin, okay? If they've got Kiana, Akali, stuff like that, use your Awakened W. Or if you have a 2v1 scenario and the enemy champion's focusing you, just soak the cooldowns. Let your teammates just eventually kill them. If you just soak the cooldowns, there's no reason to try and lightning Q and KS because you could potentially die and turn a free kill into a not so free kill, right? At this point, we're just going to go ahead and full clear up. We've reset. We're playing for grubs once again, so we catch a nice Amumu trying to proxy for whatever reason. Once again, Void Grubs are also our win condition this game, and we're playing through Jax, so we're helping him push in. After you gank, try and push him with your laners. Not only does it give you experience, but it also helps get your laner a free reset. Unfortunately, Kiana still kills him. One thing I want to mention here, this is like a little jungle decision. So I just reset. I just spent gold and I walked out here. A lot of jungle players might go mid here, or they might go to your jungle. Let's do some math. A full clear is worth 600 gold. I see 600 gold here. This is one of the rare scenarios I will actually break off my full clear to go for a gank. This is what I mean when I say this is a guaranteed gank. I think there is an 80% chance we kill both and a 100% chance we kill at least one, right? And if the enemy jungler shows up, I should be good to go because I just spent gold and I'm full health. So this is an excellent example of a gank where you stop farming because this is pretty much a guarantee, right? So I just want to pause and explain that there. So now, once again, we're just going to start full clearing up. We're playing for Rift Grub, so we're setting it up. Another thing I want to stress is when you're doing a full clear, I recommend doing Krugs, Raptors, and then your red. Get your red after your Raptors, so that way you don't delay your next spawn and you also get your red buff for longer. We cross over straight to Crab. This is another thing that a jungler once told me. Once you cross to the other side of the map, instead of farming your jungle, do Crab first and then peel back and farm your jungle because you're going to open the window of opportunity for the jungler to come take Crab while you're farming your camps if you do it the other way around. Once again, cross over, do Crab, and then look to farm your camps. It looks like I go for a very bad fight here. No, we end up, all right, we're good. Echo ends up roaming up. And we're getting up. There's the full clear. We're cashing in. At this point, Rift Grubs is what we want to play for, but I see the enemy jungler bot. I actually make the strategic decision to run bot for two reasons. Number one, I see the Viego about to dive my bot lane. Let me just back it up here and explain the decision. We see Viego here, and I also see my bot lane getting pushed in on, and I know that Lux and Misfortune can tower dive a double ADC bot lane extremely easy. We have Ashe support. I actually decide, instead of going to Rift Grub straight here, let's just match this. My camps are also spawning, once again, in a linear fashion. So after I deal with this, I can just do this, this, and then meet Viego at the Grubs. As blue side, I'm comfortable with this decision because Viego has to walk out through here or through here to come into the Grub pit. The nice thing about Udyr is I can beat him in the river, and I know that, and I know where he is, and I know there's no way he'll beat me up there. So I'm actually comfortable here running straight bot instead of going to Grubs. I explained this on stream, but this is a very important decision because it led to a ton of gold. And I would encourage you guys to start thinking about stuff like that instead of just saying go straight to the Rift Grubs, right? We just got a double kill there for making that decision, so that's 600 gold, and we got an extra 200 gold from our camps, so that's 800 gold, and we put our camps on respawn timer, which is about 100 gold worth of value, 100 to 150 gold depending on the context of the game. So that's an extra 950 gold, and we are still going to beat Viego to topside. That's almost 1,000 gold swing, more than that if you count the fact that we're taking the crab away from him again. That was, in my opinion, the power play. If you're wondering the backbone of this game, why I snowballed, it was that decision right there. Yes, I was doing well before. That is what cracked open the game for me and really allowed me to take off and hit the Nas. Once again, since we did our camps are respawned at a higher level, and the snowball just continues. We're going to eat the crab. Viego hasn't gotten any crab. We can spend time on this game. At this point, I'm just going to watch the minimap. We've already won this game from a tempo standpoint. I'm going to go back. I should be able to get, how much gold do I have? I've got 3,300. We're going to go back and get my second item. I want you to notice we're going to go ahead and get Spear of Shojin here. At this point, just watch Udyr. This is going to be the exact same thing as last game. Once you get your 2 items, run around the map and farm. That's all you're doing. You don't even have to fight the champions. You don't have to gank. If the enemy team sends 5 people mid to kill your bot lane, who cares? Go top lane and take an entire turret. Watch it. Just, there is no fighting champions for me. I'm just farming and waiting for them to either come to me or do something stupid. I'm not forcing anything. I'm just running around and farming. My camps are now in cooldown, so now I'm fighting. And now I see that the Viego's there. I pick up a free kill there. Crash in mid or bot. Have a funny little loop-de-loop on the Rift Herald. Take his blue buff, take the dragon, but how many enemy champions do you see on my screen right now? I really don't fight champions at this point. I'm just power cycling my camps. And frankly, the enemy team will eventually mess up. Right now, since my camps are on cooldown, we go top and try and kill a Mumu. Guess what we get to do? Right there, I think we've got Hullbreaker this game. Yep. Hullbreaker, that shows the power of Hullbreaker. It allows you to take turrets extremely quick. We're still farming our camps, people. We're still farming our camps. Here we go for the Baron. And we're farming our camps. Do you see how to play it? It's a tempo play style. We're just eating everything. And if we pause, at this point, I'm level 17 Udyr versus level 12 Viego. The power play, once again, that's where we started snowballing. We capitalized on that momentum and then just out-tempoed him with the power combo. This is not a PvP combo. This is a tempo combo, once again. So that's game number 2. That was a really fun one to play for obvious reasons. A lot of tempo, and it showed the showcase. This is going to be the 3rd game. This is another Viego matchup. So once again, you're going to hear me say a lot of similar things. I'm not afraid to fight him in River. I'm going to try and prioritize grubs just because I know I can split push. This game, we should probably go for dragons. Let's look at the enemy team comp. They have a Kog'Maw and a Smolder. One thing I want to say, a lot of people have been asking me, do you do this build into Kog'Maw and high health champions? Yes, absolutely. Here's what you do against high health champions. You buy sticking power like Stridebreaker or Blade of the Ruined King or Dead Man's Plate, and your job is to flash one-shot the Kog'Maw. You're Tiger Udyr, baby. You want to know how you deal with the Kog'Maw? You kill him. And if they're clumping 5-man like team fights, go split push. You're Tiger Udyr. Don't fight team fights against the Kog'Maw. Force them to split up, catch the Kog'Maw on a bad rotation, look to bush cheese him. That's how you deal with a Kog'Maw. And this build is really good at that, even with the high health. If you want, you can build a Frozen Heart. Force of Nature is really good as well against a Kog'Maw, but there's that. This game, we're actually blue side. Nice. So since we're playing for dragons, guess what I'm doing? Raptor Start. Raptor Start always puts you on the opposite side of the map with gold spend at around 5 minutes. So since I'm playing for dragons this game, we're going to do a Raptor Start top. You don't have to do Raptor Start every game. You can do red or blue starts. It's perfectly fine. I just think if you've got a game plan and it also aligns with your game plan, do the Raptor Start, you know? It's very consistent, very safe. At this point, we finish off the clear and we're kiting towards bot. I think that the enemy jungler is coming bot, but I don't have that information yet. We finally see him on this ward, so I know he's there. So we're going to go ahead and just do the crab. Noted to kite the crab towards mid lane since Viego is ganking mid. We're going to go ahead and slow this down and explain how to play this counter gank here. We could have come through here. That probably would have been the better way to play it, but with Echo as low as health as he is, and frankly, I don't think Echo has much kill pressure, we're just going to ignore that. One thing I want to mention, I have 4-minute Raptors coming up here. I'm actually choosing to go for this gank over my farm. Always do this. Let's do the math. Raptors plus Krugs at best is worth 200 gold, plus the timer on the reset's worth about 100 to 150. So there's about a 300 gold value of doing these two camps here. This is 450 gold if I think we can kill it. And looking at this wave state, she has to crash it. She's also going to be aggressive because my Renekton is low on health. I think I've got an 80 to 90% chance of killing her, especially considering she doesn't have flash, right? To me, this is worth not doing my Raptors and coming top. That's the decision-making process and how the gold kind of outweighs the farm there. So this is what starts my snowball, I'm pretty sure. That's the first kill. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and pause. One thing I want to stress, if you have enough gold, go back to base and cash in. My ideal first back is 1,400 gold. Since I don't have enough gold for my first ideal first back, we're going to do our first two camps here. Go back, spend gold, get the Phage, get the brown boots, and then run bot. If I had 1,400 gold, like let's say I got a double crab or I managed to get a double kill mid or something, I would go back to base, immediately spend gold, and then full clear down. But since I don't have enough gold, we're farming out until I get my ideal first back here. Once again, now that we've got our gold, it looks like I run straight bot here. So the decision there, let me just rewind and just make sure I understand what I was thinking. Normally, you almost always go cash in, and I actually do start the recall here. But I decide to run straight bot because it looks like the enemy jungler is fighting. And we end up shutting that down and get a double kill. Then we actually cash in. Since I got a double kill bot lane, and I know that the enemy top laner doesn't have flash, I run straight back top. We're skipping our level 5 camps once again because I'm snowballing like crazy. If you want to know how to put the gas pedal on your leads, literally just start farming champions when you start pulling ahead like this. Grubs, I wanted to play for dragons, but frankly, since I decided to go for the Gwen this game, you know, this was kind of a game state thing. Normally you play for dragons. I almost always would go for dragons with our team comp versus theirs. But frankly, with the Gwen having no flash and the Renekton being a lane bully, I know we can kill her very easily. Here, we're just going to go and start doing a Raptor start. I don't have experimental hexplate yet, so we're going to keep doing the Raptor start. Once you get Raptor start, we're going to go. I'm going to go take his camps. We just saw the Viego bot, so I just took his camps, reset, and now I'm taking these camps. Viego just lost 200 gold out of his jungle. We see him panic gank top. So what Viego did there was he reset, saw his camps weren't there, went top, ganked top, killed my top laner, but his bot side camps were up, so now I'm taking his bot side camps. I'm helping crash this in. I know Viego is up here somewhere, so I'm helping my mid laner crash it in. And at this point, we're just looking to do our two camps on spawn up here. At this point, I've got experimental hexplate, so we are looking to just start power farming. Going for the second round of grubs. Since I did choose to go for the first round of rift grubs, I'm going for the second round of rift grubs. We're going to go ahead and get the two camps bot side, eat the dragon. This makes up for the first dragon we lost because now they can't dragon stack. And then all of a sudden, we are good to go. The power play, if you want to know what really won this game, it was the decision not to farm my level 5 camps, but instead run straight bot, get the double kill, go back, spend gold, run straight top, and kill the top laner right out the gate instead of running bot and doing my bot side camps. That is the power play, the first snowball. I always look at it like jungle is like this. You've got some sort of play, whether it's a farm advantage that'll get the gas going, right? And then you've got a power play, whether that's a double kill bot, a triple kill bot, or just a big shutdown on somebody that has like an 1,000 gold bounty or something. There's some sort of power play that'll then be the catalyst for you starting to carry. Then once you get into the mid to the late game, it is all about you not dying and taking resources away from the enemy team with the advantage you have, because level 10 Udyr will for sure be clearing his jungle faster than a level 8 Viego, and as long as that remains true, he will continue to open the gap between us in terms of gold experience and overall capability. At this point, I am ready to go. I've got, Spear of Shojin coming very, very soon here, and all I'm going to do at this point is just run around the map. Let me just, once again, speed this up, put it on an Udyr diff. And as you'll see, we are literally just full clearing. That's all we're doing. We're going to go ahead and take a 14-minute Rift Herald on spawn. I'm not afraid to get a 14-minute Rift Herald if I think the game can end fast. This is one of those games because we have a Snowballing Renekton, and of course, the enemy team has a Kog'Maw, Teemo, and Gwen that did not get a chance to get to late game. So I don't think they have a chance of winning as long as we just keep the pressure up, which is exactly what I'm trying to do. At this point, we are just running around the map and taking everything that we can. There is no rhyme or reason to it. Do you see kind of how we're moving? It's literally just sprint in a straight line, and that's that. Just do your camps, do his camps, run away. Unfortunately, Gwen ended up killing me there. Gwen is kind of crazy. That champ is nuts. So against Gwen, by the way, Maw Malmortis is a really good item. I think I end up building Maw third item for that exact reason. At this point, we are just running around the map, doing our thing. I end up dying in front of the Baron pit, which sucks. But we get the enemy mid inhibitor for it, so it ends up being worth farming, and start the Baron. Notice how you can solo Baron, by the way. Part of the reason why Tiger Udyr is King Kong, in my opinion. Now, you can do that on Phoenix as well. I don't know if you can do it as fast as a Tiger Udyr, though. It'd be close for sure. At this point, the game's over. GG. I know that's kind of, I hope you guys appreciate this format because, like, how I look at it, the back half of the game is usually very automatic. It's very controlled if you manage the first 20 minutes of your game really well. I would encourage you guys, if you're struggling to play this playstyle and you think it's not working well for you, be a little bit more patient. Like I said yesterday, just be a little bit more patient. And then, of course, I would encourage you, farm very safely and look for kills until you get experimental hexplate. At experimental hexplate, start clearing in a straight line to whatever game or whatever lane you want to gank. And then once you get Spear of Shojin, start invading and running around the map as fast as you can and start farming as much as you possibly can. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is the second video. We've got, of course, a lot more games we got to go to until we get into our Masters, but these are the first. I think yesterday was the first game, so these are the games 2, 3, and 4 of placements. I'm going to batch these videos probably into games of 3 like this, get you guys the educational content you're looking for, and it'll all be in one place. I'll probably upload these every other day, so you'll get an Udyr video one day, and then an Unranked Masters the next day, and we'll just keep doing it like that. Thank you again so much for watching. Make sure to head to the Twitch, twitch.tv/WilliefknP, all that good stuff, and I'll see you there. Bye!
Dang! Call me so I can make it juicy for ya.